When fitness influencers adopt a new trend, you have to wonder, is it all that's hyped up to be? The same goes for curved treadmills. I decided to unpack the science behind curved treadmill benefits to see if these machines are really better than their standard peers. But before we begin, like this video and subscribe to the Fitness D channel to grow our fitness community. Curved treadmill benefits. 1. You can lose up to 30% more weight in the same time frame. Exercising on a curved treadmill may result in higher caloric expenditure than traditional treadmills. The increased effort required to propel yourself forward on the curved surface can lead to a more intense workout and potentially greater calorie burn. According to one study, quote, both oxygen consumption and heart rate increased linearly with running speed in all trials and were markedly higher in the curved non-motorized treadmill trial. And another study shows that curved treadmills increase oxygen consumption by 32% and heart rate by 16%. That means you can lose up to 30% more calories at the same speed on a curved treadmill. Remember, higher oxygen consumption and heart rate are connected to increased caloric expenditure. I'll explain how that works, but feel free to skip to the next section if you don't want to geek out with me. Oxygen is essential for the body's energy production through a process called aerobic metabolism. Your cells use oxygen to convert stored carbohydrates, fats, and proteins into adenosine triphosphate, the primary energy source for cellular functioning. As you exercise more intensely, your body requires more oxygen to meet the increased energy demands. This higher oxygen consumption indicates a greater metabolic rate and increased caloric expenditure. Your body needs to burn more calories to produce the additional ATP required for the increased physical activity. Now for the heart rate. Your heart supplies oxygenated blood to the working muscles during exercise. When physical activity intensifies, your heart needs to pump more blood to deliver oxygen and nutrients to the muscles and remove waste products efficiently. This increased workload leads to an elevation in heart rate. Therefore, your heart rate is closely linked to caloric expenditure because it reflects your body's effort to meet the increased metabolic demands. A higher heart rate indicates that your body is working harder, requiring more energy to sustain the exercise. Consequently, this increased energy demand translates into a higher caloric expenditure. 2. You can achieve your fitness goals faster with less effort. Walking or running on a non-motorized curved treadmill has been found to result in increased physiologic intensity compared to a standard motorized treadmill. A clinical crossover study found that, quote, walking and running on non-motorized curved treadmills elicits a greater physiologic stimulus than that on standard motorized treadmills at comparable speeds. The study highlights that walking on a regular treadmill at 1.34 meters per second, the equivalent of 3 miles per hour, counts as moderate intensity activity. This study reveals that for many individuals, walking on a curved treadmill at the same speed is over 6 times the metabolic equivalent, and therefore it's classified as vigorous intensity. This means that exercising on a curved treadmill can provide a more challenging workout and potentially lead to greater fitness gains, even if you're running/walking at the same speed. 3. You get more muscle engagement. Unlike standard treadmills that use a motor to move the belt, curved treadmills are non-motorized and rely solely on your effort. Therefore, you must exert more force to propel yourself forward, resulting in greater muscle activation. And greater muscle activation leads to increased strength development over time. Besides, let's not forget that curved treadmills are designed to closely mimic the natural movement and mechanics of walking or running outdoors. When running or walking on a curved treadmill, you tend to adopt a forefoot strike pattern instead of a heel strike, commonly seen on standard treadmills. This change in foot strike mechanics engages the calf muscles and promotes stronger lower leg muscles. 4. You protect your joints. As I explained in the previous section, curved treadmills are designed to mimic the natural movement of walking or running outdoors. The curved surface allows for a more natural stride and reduces impact forces on joints, potentially reducing the risk of injuries. One study underlines that most running-related injuries are caused by impact accelerations and overuse. The study I'm talking about compared curved and non-curved treadmills in a series of tests, looking at impact accelerations and stress on the participants' shin bones. Because they're concave, curved treadmills promote forefoot instead of midfoot or heel striking. And that's why people running or walking on curved treadmills experienced much less stress on their shin bones. Besides, this study also notes that people using the curved treadmills had higher heart rates and rates of perceived effort at the same speeds. Therefore, the authors underline that curved treadmills can be excellent tools for people who want to practice higher intensity training with minimal impact on their joints. 5. You can improve your running form. Studies suggest that running on a curved treadmill can help improve running technique and form. The curved surface encourages a midfoot or forefoot strike, which is more efficient and biomechanically advantageous. One study underlines that, quote, gait symmetry and limb coordination are necessary to achieve balanced movement. However, gait asymmetry is a condition brought about by internal or external abnormalities. When traveling at normal walking speed, most people have an asymmetric gait. The study authors also point out that walking at higher speeds can help fix that asymmetry. Their findings suggest that even 4-minute intervals on curved treadmills can improve your form considerably. And that improved form will help you in your day-to-day activities as well, not just your running workouts. 3 curved treadmill disadvantages. Curved treadmills have several benefits, but it's also important to consider the potential disadvantages. 1. No built-in programs. Built-in treadmill programs allow you to set specific goals and try specific workouts, such as interval training. Doing interval training on a curved treadmill is harder because you must adjust your speed and time your intervals. And there's also no incline, which means you can't do interval training at walking speeds. This can be a drawback if you want to do HIIT or simply relax on the treadmill instead of tracking your intervals. 2. Learning curve. Curved treadmills have a unique design that requires you to adapt your running or walking technique. The curved surface and lack of motor assistance can take some time to get used to, especially if you're accustomed to traditional flat treadmills. That means you must mentally prepare for an adjustment period before you can use the curved treadmill effectively. 3. Potential strain on Achilles tendon. The curved design of the treadmill can place additional stress on your Achilles tendon, particularly if you don't maintain proper form and technique. This constant strain can increase the risk of Achilles tendonitis or other related injuries. To avoid this, remember to adapt to the curved treadmill gradually. Do a proper warm-up, cool down, and maintain the correct form to minimize the risk of strain. That said, I have to emphasize that any workout is better than no workout. Sure, curved treadmills help you burn calories and build more muscle than regular treadmills at zero incline. But standard treadmills have incline that also contributes to muscle building and calorie burning. Plus, if you dislike a piece of equipment, chances are you won't be using it. Many people like the convenience of a standard treadmill with a slew of programs, speeds, and incline options. So, test and see what works for you. Then go ahead and work out. Now, I'm curious to hear from you. Have you ever tried a curved treadmill before? Do you like running or walking on a curved or a standard treadmill? Let's move this chat to the comments, but before we do, hit that like button and subscribe to the Fitness D channel so you never miss a new episode.